James Webb finally detected unnatural activity on one of the exoplanets. What's next? What if I told you that NASA's James Webb Space Telescope has finally discovered something on a planet that is even beyond our solar system? What do you think? Is it a sign of life, or perhaps alien signals, or maybe an entire community of aliens or some other strange-looking living creatures? Well, stay tight till the end of this video to find out the answers to all of these questions. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Incredible Theory YouTube channel. Here you will find some of the world's most compelling, intriguing scientific stories, strange discoveries, imagination, adventure, lost knowledge, myths and legends, and unusual artifacts. For many years, a lot of information has either been lost or kept from us. It's now time for humanity to re-educate itself in regard to the profound world we live in. A universe is an amazing place, but no one really knows what happens there. Some people believe that aliens inhabit it, while others believe that there are no such beings. Regardless of how far science has come, scientists, astronauts, and engineers have yet to come up with a definitive answer to these questions. There is a significant mystery surrounding the universe and outer space, and NASA scientists haven't missed a single opportunity to find and study this mysteriously developed space. The James Webb Space Telescope was also one of their instruments to study the planets that exist even beyond the solar system, also known as exoplanets. A space telescope with a focus on infrared astronomy is the James Webb Space Telescope. Its substantially enhanced infrared resolution and sensitivity will enable the most powerful telescope ever sent into space to view objects that are far too ancient, far away, or even faint for the Hubble Space Telescope. This is anticipated to open up a wide range of cosmological and astronomical inquiries, including the comprehensive atmospheric characterization of exoplanets that may be habitable, as well as observations of the birth of the first stars and galaxies. JWST was launched from Kourou, French Guinea in December 2021 on the Ariane 5 rocket operated by the European Space Agency, ESA, and it successfully entered orbit in January 2022. It's noteworthy to note that development for this telescope started in 1996 with an initial launch date of 2007 and a $500 million budget. A major redesign in 2005 for Torn's sunshield during a practice deployment, recommendations from an independent review board, a threat by the US Congress to halt the project, the COVID-19 pandemic, issues with the telescope itself, and several issues later now that it has successfully entered the orbit. Scientists can breathe a sigh of relief, despite the fact that they can't be fully relieved until their entire mission is completed. The James Webb Space Telescope's four main objectives are to comprehend star formation and planet creation, seek light from the first stars and galaxies that emerged in the cosmos after the Big Bang, and investigate galaxy development and evolution, planetary systems, and the origins of life. Now that the telescope has been launched for almost 6 months, it's still in its early stages. Lagrange pointed to L2, where Webb is now monitoring, is around 1 million miles away, 1.6 million kilometers. Scientists have high hopes for this masterpiece because it's also the biggest and most powerful space telescope ever deployed. A goal of 10 years is set for the telescope's nominal mission time, which is 5 years. After a 6-month commissioning period, the 5-year science mission is set to commence. The Ariane 5 launch's accuracy and the initial mid-course correction were credited with conserving enough onboard fuel that JWST may be able to sustain its orbit for about 20 years rather than the 10 years for which it was originally intended. Well, it appears that the telescope required a lot of intellectual talent to get to this point, which is definitely something to be amazed about. According to rumors, James Webb has discovered something quite odd on one of the exoplanets now that he's finally settled into an observation position where he's attentively watching everything around him. Any planet outside of our solar system is an exoplanet. The majority of exoplanets orbit other stars, while rogue planets, free-floating exoplanets that are unattached to any star, orbit the galactic center. Basically, scientists built the James Webb Telescope to watch activities around exoplanets, which will aid them in studying and understanding how the solar system eventually changed to become what it is today. There are even numerous reports claiming that the James Webb Telescope has actually captured and caught some signals coming from one of the exoplanets, and after such reports, it seemed like NASA had everything set to ensure they finally go into the depth of this to find out every signal information about the exoplanets and outer space. It's also reported that NASA will reveal the images taken by its James Webb Telescope soon on July 12, 2022, and no one can keep calm. According to Hannah Wakeford, an astronomer at the University of Bristol in the United Kingdom, there are some really interesting worlds which we already have tantalizing glimpses of from data. NASA's new projects like Wakeford, for instance, will be aiming for a hot, well-studied Jupiter that is yet shrouded in mystery, and another mission, Louvois, which will aim to discover the origin of life on exoplanets. Isn't it wonderful that NASA is actually prepared to launch a number of additional missions before the James Webb Telescope mission is fully completed in order to research and evaluate even more about life in space? For the time being, NASA appears to be putting a lot of effort into the launch of its next space telescope mission via Louvois, a multi-wavelength space telescope proposal being developed by NASA with the help of a science and technology definition team is called the Large Ultraviolet Optical Infrared Surveyor, or Louvois. It's one of the 4 significant astrophysics space mission concepts researched in advance of the 2020 Astronomy and Astrophysics Decadal Survey by the National Academy of Sciences. While Louvois is a general-purpose observatory idea, one of its primary scientific objectives is to characterize a variety of exoplanets, including those that may be habitable. It would also be able to observe solar system bodies using powerful imagining and spectroscopy techniques. It was thought that the development of Louvois, a large strategic science mission, would begin in the 2020s. However, according to reports, NASA wants to launch Louvois quickly, and even before the James Webb Space Telescope mission is finished. This is mainly because they have conclusive evidence that life exists on exoplanets and wants to seize the opportunity as soon as possible to learn every detail about these life forms. Louvois would enlarge on such tiny, stony worlds and reveal to scientists the percentage of planets that appear to be similar to Earth in terms of surface water, atmosphere, and growing creatures. Roberge, involved in the mission, remarked, "We have no notion what the diversity of terrestrial planets will be like." Louvois would generate spectra, or breakdowns of the quantity of light of different wavelengths emanating from the object, for each of the worlds it analyzes instead of photographs. By identifying the molecules on that globe using their spectra, scientists would be able to learn more about what is occurring on its surface. Scientists should even be able to conclude that less than 10% of planets with the size and orbital characteristics of Earth harbor life if they're able to conduct those analyses on at least 28 small rocky worlds that turn out to have atmospheres, and they find no signs of life on those worlds. This conclusion is according to the Louvois team. Scientists will finally start tackling a more challenging puzzle of understanding the laws of life, if such an investigation does discover life, according to reports. Currently scheduled to launch before 2030, Louvois' primary goal is to detect and study extraterrestrial planets in order to comprehend the universality of life, though the telescope will undoubtedly find many other planets as well. Ultimately, in conclusion, we must wait until at least July 12th for NASA to share some images and maybe information gathered by the James Webb Telescope, despite the fact that NASA has kept much information regarding the telescope confidential, making it difficult to analyze how much of this material is actually true. Also, it's difficult to wait for the launch of the Louvois Space Telescope after the successful launch of the James Webb mission. It'll be exciting to see what new discoveries Louvois will make about space. So everyone, that concludes today's video. Thank you for following us all the way to the end. I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment below with your thoughts about this video. Also, if you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. We'll be back with another interesting video shortly. In the meantime, stay safe and take care.